Hey, what's up, and welcome back to Divinity Gems. On here, getting out your weekly reading for August 6th. If you're new to my channel, we'll get right into your reading. Been using both decks today, starting off with the Vision, Crystal Vision, and then clarifying with the Vision Quest. You'll also have your Black Moon Astrology card to wrap up your overall energy at the end. See what's going on for my Virgos for the week of the 6th through the 12th. Cards. Come on. She's in rest mode right now. Like she's picked fruit all day. And I like this card as well because after she's picked all her fruit and she's just sitting there holding her fruit in her hand, and she finds her tree, falls asleep. And when she wakes up, she's going to see all those pinnacles there from the hard work that she's put in. She might not have seen them before she fell asleep. When she wakes up, they're all around her. So while you're putting in effort, and sometimes when we feel like we're not being rewarded, that's when we are not even seeing in the ways that we're being rewarded. We're looking at them for some gifts to come out, sometimes just tangible all the time. And the gifts that we receive don't always have to be monetary. Sometimes we're receiving precious types of gifts that help us grow in ways that we don't look at as gifts, but they're actually gifts to us. They make you stronger people than they are gifts to you. First card out, Ace of Pentacles. Let me know right off the bat you putting together something and working on something right now that's going to be successful. It's a successful thing planted because it's got inner work underneath there. That's your inner work to me, and you're growing that new endeavor, that new goal. You're growing that based off the inner work that you've done, the inner strength. Like I said, you receive some gifts sometimes and you don't even understand that you received them, things that make you stronger as a person. So you're knowing how to go after a new goal, a new endeavor with strength. I see right now you've already planted it and it's already growing. It's already growing. But the Ace of Cups is in reverse. So this is still somewhere emotionally where it's not coming together for you as of yet. When I see the Ace of Cups in reverse, this does represent the overall feel of your emotions to me. And it's just not there. You're not being emotionally fulfilled right now. You're fired up about this endeavor. So it might be about your stability and about your financial situation and the play out of that. Foundational. So your home environment, your job, things like that you're feeling comfortable with. But emotionally, love-wise, is not quite as stable right there. All right, Three of Wands is in reverse as well. So just looking for some clarity on quite possibly that, because everything else I see is coming together for you, but it is the emotional state that is not there yet. That new goal as far as a new relationship or something, and changing your emotional stability or your feelings when it comes to how you feel about love and emotions in that way. Just looking for some clarity on it, but not receiving it as of yet, with it being in reverse to me. You're trying to catch it. You're trying to see it. The inward work is there. Like I said, she's got the jewels down there and the inward work. The strength is there, but the vision is not there yet. Why those crystal balls are behind her and not catching any light. And she's up there trying to catch the light of the sun with that one. You're trying to see what it is, trying to see. And then there's that little small dragon wrapped around one of those while she's trying to receive clarity, because the power is there, but it's not being used at this time because she's just trying to see. You're trying to see when it comes to your emotions. You're trying to see and receive clarity on that. But the Knight of Swords to me has mental clarity. And he's at that point where he just is ready to go towards it no matter what. He had that idea that he couldn't and that he was held back at some point, and then he gets it in his head that he don't know why he felt held back. He don't know what he felt like he couldn't break away from, and then he just decides to break away and go do it. So watching that play into possibly your Ace of Cups being in reverse and the Three of Wands being in reverse, that feeling of being held back and that you want to just take off past that point. You want to fly over it. Like his horse has wings. You wanna accomplish it and conquer those types of feelings of feeling held back. You want to be able to make sure you take those feelings away. And the Knight of Swords is that person. He's rebellious to a certain extent. He doesn't care about what others think. He just goes after it. So if it's about not knowing for sure because you don't have the vision yet, or just not knowing what it is you want, either way, you are ready to in that cycle. You're ready to pass judgment on it. That's why this card to me is out next. You're ready to pass judgment on that. You're ready to see what the situation is emotionally, because I think you figured out the stability financially. You're figuring it out, or you have figured it out. You've put in the work. You've worked hard for it to the point where you're even taking a rest right now because you work so hard on building up financially and stable-wise what it is you want to bring into your life, Virgo. And that seed is already planted and successful to me. But what is not sure of you yet, what you're not sure about, you got that part out of the way, is your emotions and what you want to do when it comes to like love and feelings and all that type of stuff. So not quite clear on that yet, but just knowing that you want something there. To me, with this Knight of Swords being out, that there's the potential for something to be there, and you're passing judgment on it at this point. The Magician card is out. So you are trying to create what it is that you want when it comes to your desired love. You just may not have all the recipe yet as far as going inside and figuring out what it is you truly want. So the vision, like I said, is just not there yet. But that's why I feel like that Ace of Cups is that indecisiveness as far as, do I even want to be with, do I want love in that way? Am I wanting to work on something with this other person, this older person that I had before? Don't want to go back and see what's there because I really like some things in that relationship. It's just trying to go through all of those things where we decipher. And through a Mercury retrograde, which Mercury is your ruling planet, being in retrograde is bringing back all of the past relationships. It's causing you to reflect on all the things love-wise that you had before, and what was the best out of those things, and what was the not so good things that you don't want to bring back, and creating the best new venture of how it is you want to proceed with new love, what you want as far as love, period. Making a decision on that. And as the Magician, I feel like you have a lot to do with creating what you want on the love front by just simply deciding. That is how you create, how you decide, okay, this is what I want in love. I want a person that is with me like this. I don't need this and I don't need this. Okay, so that is creating, that is deciphering what you are going to allow and what you're not going to allow, and then sticking to those things that you decided upon and going after those things with that Knight of Sword energy. Once you decide upon it, your decision's made. Now you are creating what you want as the Magician, and the Knight of Swords is just rebelling and taking action on it, going after it. Throw caution to the wind and just going after it. And there's the Eight of Cups. So she's got those 8 cups. They're all left in the water. This is all the old relationships, all the past hurts, all the reasons why we didn't want to fall in love again. Everything that was left down there emotionally that made us feel bad, and why we just were working on our money at this time and our foundation versus pursuing love, possibly, because all these cups are in the water. These are all past loves to me that just have been left behind. But at that point, she leaves all that past stuff behind, and she comes up out the water renewed and refreshed and ready to go after something positive that's in her own best interest as the Eight of Cups. The bad has passed her now when it comes to love and bad relationships. And now she's just carefully deciding now what to go towards. The Knight of Pentacles is out. And it's like he's on his way to somebody. He's pursuing somebody in love, but he is proceeding very cautiously. He's got his pentacle over here. Now I've built up my pentacles. He's got it leading on his sword. The Knight of Pentacles is coming as the knight in shining armor for someone, towards someone. But he does have a hesitant look on his face, like he's almost scared. It's like these 8 cups that's been down here. Like, it's like, look, I don't want it to end up another one of these situations. I'm tired of having to throw old cups in the water, letting somebody fill it up, and then I have to throw it and it doesn't work out. Well, it's in pursuit. So if this is you on your way, as like the Knight of Swords mixed with the Knight of Pentacles, if this is you on your way to deciding the new endeavor or the new person that you're deciding that you want to bring into your life or want to pursue, or this person is quite possibly on their way to you to offer you some new type of love endeavor. And you're going to have judgment on that as the creator, with the magician of what you want, and if it's what you desire, because you hold the power with the decision making here with the judgment card and the magician, two major arcans. You are deciding what you want in love at this point. You're deciding who to offer your cup to, or who is allowed to put an offering or give you an offering in your cup. And you're just trying to see clearly if that's the wisest decision for you in the course of action you want to take. The Justice card was the last card out, and it's upright. This is balance. This is justice. This is the scales perfectly balanced right here. She's able to balance on those rocks. This is something that's coming into your life balanced and ready to go, because you've worked on your balance. You've worked on your balance. And now that you've received balance, it looks like coming financially and stability wise, responsibility wise. This is what your new endeavor is balance in that area, and it's going to be successful. Now either you can go to pursue something in love or someone in love that you desire to, or they're going to pursue you. With when I see this Knight of Pentacles out and then the Knight of Swords being out, with the mental clarity of knowing what it is that you want, knowing what makes you feel alive and free, and just going after that. And yeah, it's what I'm seeing here. Only on the emotional front, Virgo. Let me pull a clarifier too out of here. But only on the emotional front do I see some hesitation. Just because you want to be sure that you don't get hurt, number one. That is what you want and what you need, number two. The Emperor is in reverse. So you're not there yet. I'm feeling like you're doing all of this so that the Emperor can come upright. You have and are working on separate parts of you, to bring a whole complete person. So you worked on what seems to me the foundational part of the structure and the material gain, and making sure that you have the things that you need in order to be able to bring in, just to set yourself up foundationally. And now that you've done that, I feel like that's off the ground, and that golden endeavor is that seed is already planted and growing. And so you're like, okay, now that I've gotten that out of the way, I think I'm ready for love, but I don't just want any old kind of love. It's got to be a love that's going to not turn out like the love in the past, where I had to be feeling left behind at the end of the day. All these cups that are left in the water on the Eight of Cups energy, that type of love that where you just don't feel like you got left hanging for putting yourself and your emotions out there. Eight of Pentacles is out. It's about just sharpening our skills, our overall life skills. So I feel like you learned lessons definitely from those other cups that were left in the water, and just now you're being very cautious about, making sure that the next relationship that you have is balanced. Queen of Wands, leading with inner energy, leading with who she knows she is, making her own fire in this case as the Queen of Wands, being strong inwardly with that giant red ruby on her stick, leading from her inner passion and her inner strength, and having clear vision and wisdom on her with the eagle at the top. I think you're coming into that zone of bringing into your life exactly what you want and what you deserve and what you know you need in your own best interest, versus what you think or what anybody else, try to tell you need in your life, or just, I think you should do it this way. You're not listening to that anymore. I think you are really coming into what is in your own best interest. Another clarifier out, these two. So yeah, that guarded feeling, just strategizing, I think, and coming up with the best course of action for you to take. You got the Lion watching your back, you watching your front, and you just ready to handle business to me. With the Six of Wands being upright as well, I feel like this is victory at the end of the day for anybody, no matter what. With the Six of Wands, when you have the combo of the courage that he took, with the lion there representing his courage, the crystal ball is in his hand. He had clear vision on it, and then the wisdom of the eagles is up there, two eagles. So he was victorious or destined for victory all the way around. And like the courage has been crowned. The lion is wearing like a little wreath around him. And that's just being victorious. That is definitely conquering something that you sought out to conquer. And this is the strategy plan around it and how you're going to be victorious because you planned and strategized before you took this approach. And that's how they were successful. So on this one, it's a girl and her lion. On this one, it's a man and his lion. The 9 of Wands and the 6 of Wands. This is victory to me. All this is inner strength and how you got to the victory. Just being strong, Virgo, hanging in there through the tough times. We'll pull a couple of clarifiers out of the Vision Quest Tarot. But remaining strong through hurt. The 9 of Airs out with the hurt feelings. So just through some hurt feelings of feeling like you got done wrong a lot. Feeling like you got done wrong. But at the end of the day, now that after all that's said and done, regaining balance. All right, that's out. Spiritual warrior is out. So going higher on your spiritual path, making sure you're just becoming a better person at the end of it. The stress card is out. This deck doesn't have reversals, but I feel like that's what was going on. And now that's why it's ended. The hurt and the stress are over for you because you become a spiritual warrior, because you found your balance. Your sunshine and your happiness are around the corner, along with the wealth. This is about the money and the wealth that you wanted. But after that, the family life comes. So you're setting yourself up for the wealth and the foundation, like we said. But the family foundation is what you're desiring next. Somebody to be there for you, someone to love and nurture. That whole feeling was put on the back burner while you were working on your finances. So you're ready for that again. You're ready to bring in some love again. But I just feel like you're cautious at what type of love you're going to bring in and just deciding on, the way you want to go about it. Taking your time. You're not in any type of rush, I feel like, overall. Not any type of rush. Which is, okay. Which is okay. If you're happy and content already, why would you want to rush into something that could possibly disrupt that? So I'm going to keep that because that flipped over very easily. That is the Pluto transformation card for you, Virgo. It's hard to see on these cards. Transformation. And that is 11, which is a spiritual awakening number. So there's change and transformation coming to you, Pluto. Is the 55. Okay. Quote is by Anais Nin. People living deeply have no fear of death. Good quote. Pluto card in brief: destruction, creation, regeneration, passing away of the old and bringing in the new. People you know passing away, funeral homes, mortuaries, hospitals, sewers, latrines, bathrooms, dumps, graveyards, that which has been buried, decay, hidden or unseen things, ghosts, spirits, dark entities, hauntings, the occult, dark magic, sorcery, tunnels and underground, vampirism, gothic culture, weather, the genitals, procreative systems and the lower colon, crossroads, divorce, changes in finances, the culling back of non-essentials in life, a twisted outlook, profound rebellion, the colors black, purple, and maroon. And the corresponding tarot card was the 6 of Swords, which was that guy on the victory card, as I was showing. So transformations, endings, beginnings, new ways, the end of the old was the key idea on this card, and intensity. What I got through reading these things and applying them to your overall spread that was out, just the passing of the old, bringing in the new. I see that coming for you. Just overall life qualities of you going through the transition of foundation of money and stabilizing your home situation to now what you're trying to bring in as far as deciding if you want love in it or not. That type of feeling did go towards a whole lot of people passing away, funeral homes, mortuaries, hospitals. So just be aware to that type of energy being around you as well this week, Virgo, because that did did just hit home with me when I was reading over those things. So some of us may experience a family member being sick or passing away possibly over this week. Dark things, so dark entities, hauntings, the occult, things like that, dark magic. Those things are made to sound scary and horrible, but it is just a change, and sometimes a change to the unknown is scary. Just like when we die, we don't know where our energy goes, so it is the fear of the unknown versus that we're actually going someplace evil or bad. Just we know energy doesn't die; it only is transformed, can be transformed. So we always sometimes lean towards the darker, evil things, the scary things when we think about that dark side, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. When you go into those type of changes, it is changes sometimes for the better. It allows us to know how much power that we hold on our own creative side, as the magician was out in your spread as well, how much power that you hold and how much of a responsibility you have to create those things, where we want to be like, why are these things happening to us? Just how much you affected those things with your thinking and your choices and the way you did things and through the whole situation. Those types of energies you want to be aware of, when it comes to how we create or the energies that we bring into our lives. So divorce, changes in finances, I see those types of things happen when structures fall down and we are rebuilding, so to speak. We're trying to start our life over. We're trying to see what new things we want to bring in, how our relationship is going to go this time. Well, next time I won't do it this way. I'm going to make sure I'm straight and have everything I need so that when I go after a relationship, it's going to be this way. That's the type of creation, as the magician that you have out there. And with Pluto, I feel like that it is a sort of type of creation energy as well. With that, when that planet comes around, it is that type of transformation energy that makes us flip things in our life from bad to good, seeing how we want things to come about, and then just preparing a course of action, a pathway to make those things happen. Procreative systems, crossroads. So those decisions where we want to feel like we want to do something, but we're not sure if it's the best thing or best desired outcome possible. Well, you take that moment and just really think about it. Think about that card where she's three swords, where she's holding up the three of wands, trying to get the crystal ball to catch the light, trying to see clearly which direction to go into. That type of feeling. But at the end of the day, I think it's still victorious, as the corresponding tarot card is the Six of Swords. So it's the Six of Swords. Okay, so it is about clarity. And I'm thinking, I'm seeing Six of Swords, but I'm thinking Six of Wands. So it's about the clarity with the Six of Swords. It's about the knowing that this is the best decision for you with the Six of Swords. Knowing that it's what you want. Knowing that it's what you want. So transformations, endings, beginnings, new ways, the end of the old. And with the new moon coming, I feel like this is a fitting card for you as well, Virgo. Just learning what it is you want. Bringing in the new things in the way that you want them, and then the things that you've yet to make the decisions on, because you're still deciding what it is you want, taking your time and deciding, because it is your choice. It is about your overall happiness at the end of the day. So taking your time and not feeling like you have to rush those type of decisions just to be with somebody or stuff like that. Continue to take your time on it. If you're not ready to bring in love in your life, still hurting and wrapping up and healing over some past things, and you just like being alone and building on your own, then continue to do that. But if you feel like you're ready, be what you want to bring in. So be the energy that you are trying to attract. If you want a responsible person, then being more responsible is how you attract a more responsible person. If you want a person that's more loving and generous, then you have to be that energy. You have to be putting that out to attract that in. So just about deciding what it is you want at this moment. What do you want, Virgo? What would make you happy? And then going about that course of action, staying away from things that don't harmonize with that, going towards things that do match the vibration of what you're trying to bring in, and then just staying positive about it through the whole process of knowing that this is what you want, this is what you deserve. So that's how it's going to come back to you, the seeds that you plant. Like I said, that with that Ace of Pentacles being out first, the seeds that you plant, that star that was at the top had all of your hard work and drive and determination underneath it, making it grow into what you want it to grow into. And so because you took those efforts and planted those seeds and nurtured it and tried to make sure that those things come about, I feel like your finances and your stability are getting on the path that you want. And now it's just deciding what and how you want to incorporate that emotionally when it comes to love type of relationships, and how you give your love, the exchange of that, and the sharing of how you want to share your emotions with someone else. That's really the last thing left to be decided for you at this point, which is great. It's your world. It's your world. So decide what you want in it.